So we're in FYE, just looking at some of these titles, see if I could add anything to my collection. Not seeing anything really good worth owning. Reservoir Dogs, I don't own this, but I'll wait to pick it up. Because I did see it for like $2.99 at CEX. See if they have it. Punisher, Premium Rush, Pulp Fiction. I have all the Pirates movies. Mad Max Complete Collection, only $48, and it includes a 4K version of Fury Road, but pass on that. Next 3 days, I've seen this. I actually like this movie. $3.99. Passion of the Christ. I don't own this, but $17. Nope. Too expensive. Ooh, Tombstone, but a little pricey. I'll have to pass on that. Halloween, $10 a piece. I actually don't own it, but not willing to buy it for $10. I got the Psycho Scream Factory edition, but it's $30. That's crazy. So now we're at CEX. We're gonna see what we can find here. $1. That's how bad that movie is. See Looper there. Just recently saw that movie. It was okay. Not something I would want to rewatch again. So the first thing I picked up going into FYE, The Next 3 Days. Starring Russell Crowe, Liam Neeson, and Elizabeth Banks. Pretty solid thriller. Kind of reminds me of The Fugitive a little bit. It is pretty rewatchable, so that's why I picked it up. I've seen it a couple of times and thought, don't own this for the price. Certainly worth picking up. Next title I got was Superbad. Somehow I still didn't own this film. I kept passing by it at Walmart and I'm like, $8. I don't know if I should pick it up for $8. And for $5, certainly it is a steal. Great teenage kind of coming of age story. Probably Jonah Hill's best movie outside of like Wolf of Wall Street. So yeah. While I was there at FYE, I stopped by the Funko Pop section because, you know, sometimes if something catches my eye and I'm like, I have to get it. So first off, I got the Nazgul figure. I have the Sauron figurine, Looks pretty awesome, pretty detailed for a Funko Pop figure. And I thought I'd put this right next to it. It's pretty freaking awesome. The Nazgul. Yeah. Kind of looks like a Dementor, but it's got a sword. So either way, we're going with it. Looks pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. And it's like buy two, get one for 75% off. So certainly I thought I'd pick it up. Then I have the latest like new editions that they released for Funko Pop Harry Potter. And that is, I got the Hermione Granger Prisoner of Azkaban with the time churner around her neck. Yeah, this one. I also want the one that's like in the back right here with the Luna Lovegood. This is like the Half-Blood Prince edition where she's wearing like the Gryffindor lion mask. But I also want that one. And then lastly, I got the Nebula Funko Pop from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. One of my favorite characters of Guardians of the Galaxy. The character doesn't receive that much love. Nice looking Funko Pop as well. Couldn't really pass it up. There was also the William Wallace FYE exclusive that I was looking at, but then I looked it up on Amazon. I'm like, it's $3 cheaper on there. I'll probably wait to pick that up. Then stopping at CEX, which has some incredible prices if you ever want to buy like used movies or even video games. Great place to shop. Better than FYE, really. It's just that FYE has a better selection, and sometimes you run into titles that are pretty cheap. But CEX has some really good titles. For instance, The Nice Guys, $5. Yes, it's used, but it's in pretty decent condition, actually. For $5, definitely worth picking up. It was in my top 10 best movies, I think, of last year. I think. Certainly a movie that not a lot of people were talking about, but definitely worth checking out from the director of Lethal Weapon. So if you haven't seen this movie, do check it out. It's one of the best comedies, if not the best comedy of last year. Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling make quite the pair in this film. Also, I picked up James Cameron's Avatar. Kind of had to have it. $5. You can't really pass this up. Not the biggest fan of this film. I do like the visuals of the film. That being said, I think that's really the only thing worth checking out in this film is the visual effect. It's a beautifully looking movie, and I've been kind of passing it up. It's like everyone has this in their collection. I'm like, I don't know. I do see myself watching it over again, but I'm not paying $20 for this thing. $5? Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. 3-disc set, collector's edition. It is used, but it is in pretty excellent condition, to tell you the truth. 3-disc set, why not? And then lastly, I picked up Thor: The Dark World. Not the best film, but I would rather watch this than rewatch like Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. The last 30 minutes of this movie is pretty good. And anytime we have a scene between Thor and Loki, I say that was great in the film. The female characters, unfortunately, in this entire Thor series have been pretty terrible. I like Natalie Portman, but unfortunately, her performances, especially in this film, sucks. Her and Kat Dennings are terrible in this entire series, which really brings this entire film down, because aside from that, it's a pretty solid series. But I think Thor Ragnarok will be finally, I hope, like the best Thor movie, because these two movies have been a bit subpar. Still rewatchable, still some good things to like in these films, but things are dragging this film down, like the female characters. Aside from that, I think it's a pretty solid film. I think this movie does get trashed a little bit, but it's not as terrible as people make it out to be. The Thor series was actually the last series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I saw, because I just had no interest in watching them, and I finally did get a chance to see them about a couple of months back, and they're actually not that bad. I see the issues, like I've said, and they're perfectly fine. They're rewatchable. They just have some issues. So for $5, I said, sure, why not? I did enjoy this film. I think it's worth the pickup. I was about to pick up Knowing on Blu-ray. It was only $2.50. I've been eyeing that movie for some time. It's a movie I own on DVD. I think it's pretty underrated Nicolas Cage film, and it's like $8 on Amazon. And then I saw it in stores for $2.50. I'm like, I have to get this movie. And go up to the cash register. The guy is looking for it. Looking for the disc. Can't find it. So I wasn't able to pick up Knowing on Blu-ray. Nicolas Cage, unfortunately, went into the store and borrowed the movie. The guy said he was going to continue looking for it. So maybe next time I stop by there, Nicolas Cage will have returned it. And I can buy it for $2.50 because that is an amazing price for a pretty solid film. It's like a horror thriller film. I remember being really impressed by that movie. It was time to upgrade to Blu-ray with that. As well as the National Treasure series, but I never see those movies on Blu-ray, so I don't know if I want to pay like $30 online to own the two films. I also did order on Amazon Jaws 2 because it was on sale for like $8, and whenever I watch Jaws, I do kind of want to see Jaws 2, and Jaws 2 is kind of the second best shark movie ever made. So Jaws 3, unfortunately, no. Especially people buying Jaws 3, like, oh, be aware. When you're in, like, Best Buy or something, make sure that you know that that is a 3D film. It's not a standard Blu-ray film. It doesn't mention that. Maybe, like, in small text on the back, it'll say it's 3D. But it's a 3D movie. It was always meant to be in 3D. I don't have a 3D TV, so unfortunately, I cannot even check that out because I am curious to see what that is. A couple of weeks back, I actually also picked up Dial M for Murder, one of Alfred Hitchcock's films, also in 3D. Very interesting. Unfortunately, I will not be able to see how it looks like a 50s movie in 3D. That ought to be interesting. That's probably the only Alfred Hitchcock movie in 3D. I really enjoyed that film and decided to pick it up, but the 3D edition is the only one available. It comes with the standard Blu-ray, but that 3D... I don't know how that's going to work out, really. A 50s movie in 3D. But yeah, that about wraps up all the pickups that I got today. For pretty cheap prices, too, because I am trying to stay on a budget and try to collect everything. Because I pretty much have all the movies that I really wanted. There's still a few titles like Catch Me If You Can, which is like $15. I'm not really willing to pay that. And Apocalypto, which is like out of print, and the cheapest one I've seen for is like $40. The Pianist on Blu-ray, really good war film, probably my favorite. It's about $29, but I really wanted that Korean Steelbook, but that's like $60. So some pretty pricey movies. I am still waiting for The Abyss to come out on Blu-ray, which has taken James Cameron a million years because he's been sidetracked with all these Avatar movies, the 3D Terminator release. It's like, can we get The Abyss on Blu-ray already? Hurry the hell up. Aside from that, that is about it. Speaking of it, I did see that movie. I really enjoyed it. I am not a huge fan of horror films, but I will say it is definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a horror fan. I don't know if it's a movie I would like buy on Blu-ray necessarily, but it's in my top 5 best movies of this year, certainly, and worth checking out. It's pretty creepy, pretty sinister, good stuff. A couple days back, I went into the dollar store, and they had a whole section of Blu-rays. So keep that in mind. Next time you're in a Dollar Tree, check out the Blu-ray section, apparently. They have freaking movies. Not really good movies, to be honest. I think the one movie that I stopped on, I'm like, maybe. For $1, maybe it's worth picking up. I hadn't seen the movie. It was a movie that I was trying to see for a while. But for some reason, the romantic aspect of that film just kind of was a turnoff for me. And the movie I'm talking about is Australia. It's Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman is in it, and it's like this Western romance film, and I finally got a chance to see it like 2 days ago. It's fine. It's not a movie like I see myself rewatching again. It's a pretty well-made film. I think visually speaking, it looked good, and the acting from our two main leads is pretty good. The guy from Lord of the Rings who plays Faramir is in that film as well. He's like the villain of the movie. So... not a movie I see myself watching again, so I am not going to pick it up for $1. But I have never seen movies go for $1. Brand new. Yeah. Dollar store has Blu-rays. That's pretty insane. So that about wraps up all my freaking pickups that I got today. Hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up down there below. And just comment your thoughts on these pickups, if you own these movies, if you've seen them, if you've seen the new It movie, anything you want, comment that down below in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so down below. And I'll see you guys next time for more unboxings, reviews, and movie news.